In this video, I'm going to show you how to place the parking brake shoes on this Ford F-150. Here's the trick with these. You want to make sure you have the right ones that fit your differential, because Ford put two different style rear ends in this, and the brake setup is completely different. Pads, rotors, calipers, e-brake shoes. All this is different between early half and late half. So the early half, 2009 to 2011, has one style. That is not what we're working on in this video. We are working on the later half, 2012 to 2014. The parking brake shoes will be different between the two, so you want to make sure you have the right ones, like I said. If you need these or any other parts, check us out at oneauto.com. Let's get started. To start, let's remove the wheel. With a 21mm socket, remove all 6 of your lug nuts, and then we'll pull the wheel off. And take the wheel off. Before we pull the caliper off, stick a pry bar or a screwdriver right in between the slots of the rotor here, or the slot of the caliper, and just pry on it a little bit. Sometimes that releases the pressure off of the piston. It can move around a little, and that allows you to take it off easier once it's unbolted. Speaking of unbolting it, 2 13mm bolts hold this caliper onto its bracket. Let's remove both of them. Now you can pull the caliper off, and I'm going to set it aside right on the leaf spring so it doesn't put any pressure on this brake hose. To remove the pad, you might need a pry bar. Do this to both. A lot of times they get stuck in here. If they slide off, that's even better. Next, use an 18mm socket. Remove these 2 bolts that hold the caliper bracket onto the axle. Leave this one partially threaded in so it can support it while you take off the top one. Now take them both off and set the caliper bracket aside. Now let's remove the rotor, wiggle it until it comes off. If it doesn't come off, it's either seized on the axle, the hub part of the axle here, or on the e-brake shoes, and I'll show you how to get those off or de-adjust them to release the rotor once it's off, so I can show you a little bit better. But for me, looks like I'm able to wiggle it off, which should be the case for you as well. There we go. Set that aside. If you can't get the rotor off and you think the parking brake shoes are what's holding it on, you have this little rubber cap here. Pop this off, and with that off, you get access to the adjuster, which is that star gear looking wheel here. And if you spin it, it should contract the shoes and release them off of the rotor. Next, I want to degrease the hub surface on the axle with brake parts cleaner. I'm also going to spray around the parking brake shoes. That way I don't get any more dust up in the air. Now let's clean up the axle surface where the rotor sits. You want to make sure it's nice and flat. Mine is pretty clean, so I'm just using a wire brush with some brake parts cleaner. If yours has a lot of rust buildup, you're going to want to sand it flat, but just make sure you don't remove too much material. Now to remove the shoes, what I want to start with is removing these retainer clips that actually hold the shoes onto the backing shield. Tap them down. Once you get it right about there, you can just pop it out. Just make sure it doesn't hit you. At this point, we have some movement out of these. I'm going to do the same to the other side, which is the front side for me. At the bottom, there's a spring here, but without those clips in the way, we can actually pull the shoes out like this. Stick a pry bar behind the spring. Just like that. As you can see, it's pulling away from the shoe. This is going to allow me to stick a pick in here and just unhook it. There we go. Unhook it off the other side as well. Remove the spring and set it aside. At this point, we can spread these shoes apart at the bottom and remove the adjuster. Set this aside. I'll show you how to clean it properly. Now with a slightly larger pry bar, unhook the shoe from the top. Okay. Get it forward like that. We can do the same to this one. Then we can pull them both out. This one is stuck on the adjuster lever, or the parking brake lever here. There we go. Get this out of there. Now we can pull both of them up and out. And the reason for that is because this spring doesn't just hook over, it actually does an extra loop on the other side. So the only way to remove it is to twist the spring around over the shoe. It's basically impossible to remove with the shoes still attached. There we go. Now with this open, clean up the area a little bit more. You want to get all the dust and debris off of here. These pins, if they stayed in here, pull them out. Now we want to clean up multiple areas before reinstallation. Make sure your adjuster moves. Mine did. I just sprayed it with a little bit of rust penetrant to help it move a little smoother. If it's completely seized up, you're going to want to unseize it. Typically, you'd want to remove it and put it in a vise and hammer it back and forth to unseize it. Having said that, let's wire brush in here. This is where the shoes sit, and you want to make sure they have a nice clean area to pivot on. Do this to both sides. And then let's clean up this area right here, as well as down here. This is where the shoes sit and ride on. Next, I want to apply some silicone paste or brake grease, whatever you have, to these areas here as well. And on the other side. You want to make sure that those areas are a little bit greased so that when the shoes slide back and forth, they don't squeak. If you don't put any sort of grease on there, well, nothing bad will happen, but they'll make quite a bit of noise sometimes. So something you want to hear. You're in here, just grease them up, but make sure it's rated for high temperatures so that it doesn't melt and get onto the shoes. When it comes time to cleaning this adjuster, if yours is rusty, the threads are in poor condition, consider replacing it or at least cleaning it. You can use a wire wheel, wire brush, whatever you have. Make sure that this turns smoothly. You don't want it to be stuck on here, so you can easily adjust it. I'm going to back it off about halfway. Since mine is very clean, I'm not going to clean anything off of it, and I'm just going to re-grease it, apply some lubrication here so that this doesn't seize up in the future. Use brake grease. I'm using silicone paste. It's a high temperature silicone paste, so it's going to be okay with the heat of the brakes. And as you apply that to the threads, spin this little adjuster wheel to work that grease in. Make sure you don't put too much. It's kind of difficult to put too much because it will just squeeze out. So if that's the case, just wipe it off. Apply some to the rest of it. Just make sure they're all coated. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a thin layer, just enough to keep it lubricated over time. And then put this back together. So this is ready to be reinstalled. To get these new shoes installed, first make sure you're facing them the right way. This squared rectangular cutout has to face towards the top where the e-brake lever is. Then we're going to want to put the spring in. Make sure you have it facing the right way. The curve at the top of the spring needs to follow the curvature of the shoe. That's the only way that you're going to fit it in here. And then hook this through and kind of bend it over, hook it in, and there you go. That's what it should look like on the back side. This is what it should look like on the front side. Do the same to the other shoe. These have to go in together, just like they came out together. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult, if not impossible, to get the spring lined up on both. There you go. And now we can attach this over here. So now take the shoes, make sure the round part goes on the top here, and then the squared off cutout just goes on the parking brake lever. This is not going to be very easy. If you kind of pry it into place like this, there we go. Watch your fingers. This parking brake lever needs to go up and into this forward shoe. That way we can actually put it into the rearward shoe. There we go. All right. Both of these just fell into place perfectly. They are lined up. You should be able to pivot them smoothly. You just want to inspect, like I said before, that the parking brake lever here hooks into the lower cutout on both of these shoes, which it does. If you want it to actuate it, to test it, pull on the back side of it, and obviously it's not going to actually do a whole lot, but it will move the actuator or the lever, and you'll ensure that it's hooked in. If it's not, most likely as you actuate it, it'll pop out. Now, when it comes time to resecuring the shoes, it's going to be pretty difficult to see, but you want to slide your pin through, make sure that actually goes through the shoe here, and then if you pull it outward just a little bit, unfortunately I can't really hold it because my finger's not long enough and I have to hold the pin on the back side, but sometimes if you use some welder's locking pliers or anything that you have to clamp it here, whether it's a C-clamp or maybe a helper, second person, to help you hold this shoe out like this. Then you'll be able to push this pin through like that. And with that pin pushed through, you should be able to slide this locking retainer clip up and over. Okay, there's one. Resituate the shoe. Now let's do the same to the other side. Okay, I know it's hard to see. I almost had to cover my own working area to get that clip in there, but I did the same as the other side. Line it up, push it in, slide it up, and there we go. Now let's get the adjuster in for the parking brake shoes. And you want to make sure that it locks in to both sides. Also make sure it's de-adjusted all the way. There we go. It'll get snug in there once we put the spring on. So let's do that. Hook it onto the holes that are cut out on the lower side here. And I'm going to use a pick. I find this to be the easiest way because you can grab it, pull on it. There we go. Once you have it close, you can get your pick out. And then just push it in. That's hooked on. Make sure it's hooked on to both ends as it needs to be. Make sure these are centered. Now let's get the rotor on here so we can adjust the width of these through this adjuster that we just put in. It's important that you have the proper adjustment so these can grab on to the rotor when you apply the parking brake. Now take the rotor, slide it on here. I know I have a new rotor. It doesn't matter if you're reusing your old one. At this point, you want to make sure that you can hear the shoes touch the sides here, not continuously and not a lot, because this is just a parking brake. This is not a drum brake setup, so you don't want resistance on here. If it does have resistance, they will heat up, expand, and it could even lock up your wheel as you're driving down the road. Definitely want to avoid that. But you do want them to be close. Otherwise, when you apply the parking brake, it'll take a lot of travel in that parking brake pedal to actually engage and lock up the wheel as you're parked. So we want to get them close. At this point, I can't hear anything. It's going to be difficult, especially because the other side wheel is going to want to spin. What you're hearing is actually the other side. It's not this side at all. So let's take the rotor back off and expand these shoes a little bit through the adjuster. You can do that easily with a pry bar or a screwdriver. And if you just spin this little adjuster wheel, this should push the shoes out. Okay, I'm going to stop right about here. I don't want to go too far. Take it a little bit at a time. This is going to be a trial and error process. Still nothing, so I have to keep going. Okay, a couple spins later. Try it again. Oh, already I'm noticing that they are not centered because I had to push this side in to get the rotor on. Okay, I'm starting to hear a very slight amount of friction, but it's not consistent, so I'm going to give it another couple turns here. Pause, try again. Okay, it's getting there. At this point, what you want to do is apply the parking brake so it can seat the shoes and center them up properly. You can do that either from inside the vehicle or just from the lever at the back here with a pry bar. Make sure you hold the rotor up against the hub or the axle. Okay, so now that we applied the parking brake, it actually loosened up. So we have to go even more on the adjuster. All right, now I hear them touch. Let's reapply the parking brake just briefly. All right, so I would say these are adjusted properly. Now we have to take this back off and let's coat the hub with anti-seize so it doesn't rust. Now clean off the hub surface here. And let's apply some anti-seize to the surface of the hub. That way it doesn't rust. Try to avoid getting the anti-seize on the brake shoes and on the lug studs. You don't need a whole lot, just enough to coat the metal so that it, like I said, doesn't rust in the future. And you don't want build up here. Mine was pretty clean. If yours was rusty, you'd want to sand it down, but you want this to be a nice flat surface for the rotor to sit on. Take the caliper bracket and line it up. Let's put the 2 bolts through. Bottom them out, and the torque for these is 122 foot-pounds. Now take the pads, make sure these little ears hook onto the sliders here, the caliper bracket. And the outer one, you can pry these out just a little bit, just enough to slide these in. Now slide the caliper over, make sure it lines up with the bracket, and you can put the 2 little bolts in that hold it onto the slider pins. Bottom them out, and the torque for these is 22 foot-pounds. Torque them. 1 and 2. That's 22 foot-pounds on both. If your slider pin starts spinning as you're trying to spin the bolt side, just hold it with some pliers or a wrench here. Just make sure you don't crush the boot when you do that. Now let's put the wheel on, and don't forget to pump up your brakes so that the pad can be seated up against the rotor. Now let's put the wheel back on. Start on all 6 of your lug nuts, bottom them out, and the torque for these in a cross pattern is 150 foot-pounds. Snug them up. Now let's torque them to 150 foot-pounds once again in a cross pattern. So there you have it, repair is done. I hope this video was helpful. If you have anything to say, leave it in the comment section below. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you can stay up to date with all of our future content. Thanks for watching.